I want to be the center of attention. I don't know that, like, sometimes I think it's a bad thing, but lately I'm able to voice that out
Sure. It's
more.
good. Hello, friends. Welcome to season one, episode four of A Sound Conversation, a monthly podcast where we chat with insightful guests about life, music, and the business of both. I am your host, Paapa Versa, and if you're enjoying the series so far, please leave a review or comment on whichever platform you're enjoying this on. It goes a long way to help us reach others who might also enjoy this show. As usual, a little disclaimer: I have a stutter or stammer, so if there's a long pause or interruption in my speech, it's not you or your Wi Fi, it is me. Okay, I am so excited to have our next guest on this show. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's a gifted singer, songwriter, and performer. Her EPs, Chapter 5 and Chapter V Live, are exceptional. I have been a fan since I first listened to them. My wife and her friends are all now fans, and they've been listening over and over again. From the lucid songwriting to passionate delivery, her songs about heartbreak and longing will fly you straight to similar memories in your life. Please, 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 if you get the opportunity to see her perform live, do it and thank me later. Her song, Goodbye, was nominated for the Best Female Vocal Performance at the Three Music Awards this year. And I'm going to bet that it will be the first of many accolades to come for her. But here's the thing: she's not only a gifted artist, she's also incredibly thoughtful. I met her in person for the first time a few months ago, and after a 15-minute conversation, I became a fan of her mind, and I'm excited to experience it again on this show. Friends, help me welcome Asi Renie to the show. Asi, welcome.
Woo! Oh my gosh, whole crowd. Like, if I had this like introduction every time I'm about to do
Yeah,
something, my ego really
your ego
gets.
gets. The awesome thing is that
Yeah.
this will live in the internet, and so wherever you're at, you can just get that clip and then have it on your phone or whatever. Every time you're ready to go, you
You
have it in
really
your
need to
headphones
save it.
and you're set. So but it's all true, and I really mean every word of that, and that's how I would describe you. So I see, how would you describe yourself?
I am. I'm a human being.
Human being. Human being.
Yeah. I sometimes don't even know myself, but I
Mm,
think from what I know, um, I'm a go-getter.
mm,
I'm for love. I'm for
mm,
light. I really believe that I'm an extension of God,
mm,
and I am I'm a reflection of Him. So
mm.
everything I do,
Beautiful.
I make sure that I kind of represent that.
Mm,
But really, that's how I see myself. That, yeah,
beautiful.
I'm like reflection of my maker. So
Beautiful.
that's who I
Beautiful.
am. Yeah, and the
Mm,
rest of it, the nitty gritty bit like stuff, yeah, I'm figuring it out on a daily. So I can't really give
yeah.
a clear cut definition of who I am. Would like your definition more, the
You like my
nominated artist, singer, songwriter. I like that more.
Sure,
But
sure.
yeah.
But you're a human being. I think that's definitely what came through when I had a conversation with you, was just a level of groundedness and connection with other human beings, but also just your sense of your place in the cosmos, if you will, about just you're just a human being. So I think that's why you're like really passionate about things like the environment, and you know just like really making authentic art that is true and genuine, and able to also connect with other human beings. So I think the way you're defining yourself definitely comes through in your art, and also just how you move. So that's dope.
Yeah.
That's really dope. You're in school, right?
I'm done with school. Finished school
Done with school.
in December.
December. Wow. So
When you
how
met me.
I, when I met you? Okay, so you're in school. No, you were in school then, and you had just, like, you also released these EPs
Chapter V
while you
was
were in
also in
school.
school, yeah.
You were doing all of that. Yeah. So how did you juggle all of that? How were you juggling music with school and the other things in your life?
Honestly, honestly, it was hard for me, but
Hmm.
at some point I took a gap year.
Hmm.
But I took a gap year the year COVID happened. So everybody was on a gap
Oh.
year.
Wow. It was
But I
heavy.
had reached my frustration
Hmm.
because I felt I couldn't find the bridge for what I was doing in school and my
Hmm.
passion, which was music. So
Hmm.
there was some frustration entering into like uncertainty,
Right.
emptiness,
Hmm.
which I didn't like. So I was like, you know what? This void would make me go mad. So I
Hmm.
have to figure out a way to like, so I came, sent my parents a long essay, created a group with my
Wow.
mom and my dad in it, and I'm like, I need to take a gap year to create.
Hmm.
I know it is the not the orthodox thing to do, but and it's a bit of like a big ask, but
Yeah.
whatever happens to me, it's my consequence, like I would
Hmm.
take the L
Hmm.
if I have to.
Right.
If anybody asks why I'm home, I will take the L. Like you have family
Right.
members where everybody asks, hey, why is Rini at home? At their own go school
Hmm.
that was my
Uh,
parents' concern and all of
sure.
those things. But I had to promise that I'll go back and finish.
Hmm.
And it was like when I was 19. I went to school when I was 17. So I went
Wow.
to school early. That was what.
Early.
So
You're
it was
young.
like uni very early. So when I was 19, I was like, this is a lot. I felt like my life was being, written for me.
Hmm.
And then I was super passionate about the art scene
Right.
and how it could be so instrumental in like the grand scheme of
Right.
things,
Right.
and just even realizing the unimportance we had given arts like in our ecosystem
Right.
in Ghana. I was like, why should I can be an example of how you can thrive as an
Right.
artist and also be an example of one of the like the limitless like possibilities that of who an artist
Hmm.
is, or the idea like the ideology that's already been created, and just breaking that perception
Hmm.
of okay, yeah, as a Ghanaian, oh, art is there, your bread and butter. What are you going to eat?
Right.
How are you making money? So it's like it's a consistent.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
So it's like just having to go back and forth with them was a whole
Hmm.
process. Had to deal with it on my own. I went back. I actually went back. I wanted a year off, but I went back 6 months
Hmm.
after because it's like I just wanted to get rid of it and get done. But I was happy because COVID had hit, so we could do school online.
Right. Okay.
So it
Okay.
came in my favor. Like everybody was like COVID, COVID. I'm like, actually, me, I enjoyed it because I was able to maneuver, maneuver with
Yeah.
the two, and
Right.
just okay, like me being in school online. I was like, I can join the next semester instead of going next year,
Hmm.
and it to be online because at first there was no online option,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then yeah,
Hmm.
the rest was history. So it's like at least I got to make chapter
Yeah.
V, and it was really
Well,
nice.
I'm glad. I'm glad your parents obliged, and I'm also
Yeah,
proud
it
you had
wasn't
the
easy, but
courage.
they had to. They needed it, so they had
I
to.
love it. I love it. So, what were you studying that you felt was so incompatible with where you were at? Or
So
maybe
I was
let me know if I'm
studying
wrong.
engineering.
Engineering.
I was studying engineering in. So the first thing, my first year, I went to ALU. I went to ALU.
Okay.
But ALU, Pan African University, we are,
In South Africa, right?
for Africa. It's in no, so ALA is in South Africa. ALU
ALA.
is in Mauritius.
Okay, Mauritius.
So ALU, basically, what ALU did for me was leadership core,
Okay.
where it's like you get your life skills. We do project management and entrepreneurial leadership, communication for impact.
Okay.
So it's like
Right. Soft skills like
we
that.
had like a range of things you're studying,
Mm.
different like scenarios. It was really
Right.
nice to. These are the things I liked. Then I studied engineering with Glasgow,
Mm.
so that's in the UK,
Mm.
but they're accredited with ALU, so it's like just a whole shift.
Interesting.
And then I was like, huh, Rini, is this something you want to do? My first year, I was like, I like I like the idea of wanting to help my country. I really
Right.
just did engineering because I hated Doomsaw. So I did power and energy. I really hated Doomsaw.
Everybody hates
So
Doomsaw.
that was really where it was stemming from. But like I think too as a youth you should learn, you should try everything.
Right.
You get it. So
Right.
it's like I just had to like, sail through and do it. But it's not something I regret now because it's like I'm finding ways
Mm.
to kind of also like just bridge it to what I'm also doing in the art scene and
Right.
how far I can take it and
Right.
everything.
Okay. So are you completely discarding the engineer? I mean, it sounds like you're like looking to be more of an artist that is like bringing the engineering things into that, or is it the other way around? Do you get what I'm
So
saying?
it's more of an artist bringing the engineering bit to
Okay.
the art. I will not speak too soon, but something that's on my hearts of hearts is to go into music hardware
Mm.
devices.
Wow.
So it's something that I want to like
Mm.
study after my next project drops. Want to take time and study that
Awesome.
and then see how Africa can be a forefront for that.
Wow.
Like just that representation, I think we lack that. As in the softwares, the hardwares that engineer our music
Right.
today, like Fruity Loops, like
Right.
the
Cubase and
sound
stuff. Yeah.
systems, like the instruments. That's a whole industry we have untapped,
Right.
like in like Ghana,
Right.
Africa. And it's like for me, I'm just super passionate about that, and hopefully, like I have designs in my head
Okay.
of like, yeah, I play the piano. It's like
Yeah.
okay, cool. Why can't we have that too and everything?
Right.
And then have like a solid brand
Yeah.
where it's like we compete internationally with Roland, with
Right. Right.
whoever,
Right.
you know,
Wow.
with Fruity Loops, and also just also preserving our sounds because
Mm-hmm.
it's like I went to Tamale in the beginning of the year for
Okay.
my album, then like my next project,
Mm.
just to collect sound, and then
Wow.
it hits me. I'm like, imagine we've been collecting all of these instrument sounds, like, and we have industries also replicating the instruments
Right.
because it's like once you don't give it the importance, nobody's going to see it as important.
Right.
Like, I'm really of the view that I dictate what my consumers want sometimes.
Mm.
Sometimes be my keyword, you know? So it's like if you don't create, let people see the value of it, and then have it in the villages somewhere, one out of 10,000 people will ever see that in the world, then I'm like, bro, it's also an instrument, you know?
Right.
It,
Right.
it needs to have a voice. So that's something that I'm super passionate about, and I think me studying engineering
Mm.
allowed for me to think that
In that
far,
way.
and in that way, and trying to bridge it with my music and everything. So
Yeah.
it's like I think right now I'm at the phase where it's finding the balance and
Okay.
timing. Like
Okay.
right now I'm enjoying myself as a artist
Yes.
making music.
And I'm happy you're enjoying
I
yourself
know
because I'm
there'll
enjoying
be,
it.
yeah, and it's like I'm at if I know my next phase would be as an artist designing instruments,
Hmm.
you know,
I love it.
and that's something that's also another art form because I used to
Right.
draw.
It is.
It's just that I didn't, yeah, and it's just that's also another form of creativity where you're
Yeah.
thinking, okay, you're creating a new instrument, you know,
Right.
like aside the
Right.
piano, the guitar, like what else can you create? Because sound is sound. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
even two leaves hitting each other would make a sound you can't
Mm.
replicate, you know? So it's really
Mm-hmm.
just taking that and just opening your mind to the like
Right.
possibilities that
Right.
we're creating instruments, and that's where I want to get to because I really believe
Love it.
that, yeah, we can transcend beyond all of that, like,
Yeah.
So I think that's really where I'm at. It's just understanding the stage I'm in. I'm aware of where I want to get to,
Right.
and then just giving attention to my current state, which is okay, I'm making music now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Once that phase would never die, but once I find my grounds in that phase where it's like I have rooted myself heavily the way I want to root it,
Right.
then I'm on to the next when my fruits have shed and have started putting seeds on the other side of the like the plant. Just look at it from that angle.
Yeah.
And then what's next? So like
I love
really
it.
that's where I'm at right now.
I
I
love it.
think it's exciting.
It sounds
As to how
exciting.
we'll get there, I don't know, but we'll get
It
there.
sounds exciting, and I just knowing your level of like focus and passion and drive, I would be surprised if it doesn't happen. That's what I'm gonna say. Um,
Yeah.
so you mentioned early on your desire to be an example of, hey, you can thrive as an artist from Africa or Ghana specifically, right? Um, how has that been so far for you? And like, what are some of the wins and also some of the challenges that you have experienced navigating the music business so far?
I think a lot of it has really been self-discovery and personal therapy.
Okay, tell me more.
Um, I think music is a very lonely process. You have
Hmm.
fans, but you're in your head a lot,
Yeah,
and it's like I'm at a point in my life where it's like I'm hungry. I'm a very hungry person.
yeah, I know.
Like I'm not the artist that I'm making alternative music, so I'm okay with the niche crowd. I'm not.
You want it all.
I'm not that kind of artist. I'm not satisfied with it. I think that I want to be the center of attention. I don't know that, like, sometimes I think it's a bad thing, but lately I'm able to voice that out
Sure, it's
more.
good. Yeah, be honest with
And
yourself.
I got to a phase where it's like, if I feel like the music I'm making is very good, then there is no excuse for me not to succeed.
Mm,
And there is no excuse for me not to market it
mm,
to the point where everybody understands what I'm
right,
trying to prove, you
right.
know? So the same, like, I think one thing I had to deal with was always being called alternative,
Mm,
and um oh yeah, and those people, they are squad. They do small shows and they go to, like,
yeah.
it was something that used to really eat in my mind.
Hmm. I've been there.
So there was this one time I was in Mauritius, and then a friend of mine dropped, and like the attention he got, right? I was like, oh, why is that when I drop, then one, two, one, two, one, two?
Right.
But it wasn't even stemming from a place of envy, and I'm so self aware. It was more of me recognizing that I'm capable of this too and more.
Mm,
So, how do
hmm.
I get there?
How do you get
So,
there?
it's
Yeah.
like I'm now of the mindset that whatever idea the whole world thinks of me is not an excuse for what I think of myself and
Hmm.
showcasing it.
Explain
Like
that some more.
whatever idea Ghanaians have about their artists and yeah, this whatever it is, I won't even accept that name for myself. I'm an artist.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm making music that I
Yeah.
want to make,
Yeah.
and I think that music is good. I think masses can sing it, and I think even like Africans, right,
Right.
just limiting what is not popular,
Right.
right? You see, the thing about the music scene that I love so much is once you prove it, you move from alternative and
Sure.
you join commercial, and then
Right.
there's a new genre added to it,
Right.
to
Right.
commercial, what the commercial sound is. So it's like I'm really just here to add to the library of what is commercial too,
Right.
you know?
Right. Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
and not be in that box and everything. So I think that was really the one of the biggest like mental battles I had to deal
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
being content, understanding that I'm in a process, being aware of my environment and what people think about the music I'm making, and being and how I'm able to maneuver through that,
Right.
and how I'm able to creatively market. So it's like I take it like as a business. Like I've
Right.
created my product
It
as
is.
much as yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. How am I going to creatively market this?
Right.
But like I think another thing was I used to desire speed,
Hmm.
but recently I had this conversation with my dad, which was really like eye opening, where he was like, as long as every day you're doing something to get there,
Right. 1%.
you do it.
1%
But
more.
it's not even about you, it's about the people who are going to come after you because you took that step,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
to do your own show,
Right.
to release,
Right.
to put a lot of effort in marketing
Right.
or being creative.
Right.
It's about that one person that's going to find out, because little drops of water would make a mighty flood.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, they are still the whole product you're looking for. So even if it's about one person, that's where I'm also understanding that okay, sometimes some days it will go really slowly, and I've
Mm-hmm.
experienced those days. Some days where it's like, oh, there are a lot of people that came. Then some days it's like nobody's watching. But I'm learning to understand that I should still just every single day I should do
Right.
something towards getting where I want to get to, and I am
Yep.
fine with that. I've made peace with that.
Yep.
But it's like my thing is I know where I'm going to get to, and I'm going to get there regardless.
Right. That
Yeah.
that's that's dope. Yep. Just every day, just chop wood and carry water, and just do that every single day, and then eventually you'll be exactly where you know you want to be. So, um, that's dope. That's awesome that you're having that mental clarity and self awareness, and I think that will carry you through from like now till all the heights that you have imagined in your head, and even the ones that you've not imagined that I think you are bound for. So that's dope. I do want to ask you. You had mentioned your dad giving you the advice that hey, it's not it might be bigger than you, right? It might be about those who come behind you as well, right? Who are some artists who have gone ahead of you that are or that have inspired you, right? And who are some artists now that are still inspiring you right now?
I think I'm so inspired by J. Cole.
J. Cole. Okay, why?
I really love what he's doing with Dreamville.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
typical example of so unassuming, like such an unassuming plant, and then a beautiful
right,
like blooming flower. You know,
right,
as much as
yeah,
people don't talk about it, that
yeah.
guy has something
His
with Dreamville Records,
his
and it's
his
just beautiful
yeah,
to see, even with his
I love it.
sound and everything.
Yeah,
So that's someone that like I really, really, really. I used to listen to J Cole a lot. I really like,
nice.
and um, there are artists I like based on even their soul, not even the music they make.
Hmm,
Um, I'm a
interesting.
big fan of Lauren because of how
Lauren Hill.
real she has dealt with life.
Sure. Yeah,
Like
I'm a huge fan of Lauren as
that
well.
bit of it, it's is like me always reminding myself that as much as I'm an artist and I have this gift that can sometimes make me feel grand and big, and like you're
Right,
also a person, and I think she's managed to like go through that bit of it in her own little way,
right.
and I really, really like that. Beyonce
It's
for her
dope.
work ethic.
Hmm.
Like I
She
applaud that
she's
woman
she
for
works
her work
hard.
ethic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's how bad she wanted it. And
yeah.
I think it's just really pieces of everybody. Like
Right.
once you're an artist, like I always give you that this thing. Another artist I just recently discovered, Obong JR. I don't know whether I'm even saying his name right.
Hmm.
He's UK based, but he's from Nigeria.
Okay.
I think it's the fact that he manipulates his voice in terms of
Hmm.
tones. Like he has this raspy voice sometimes
Interesting.
and this
I'll
really
look him
high
up.
pitched voice. Then this thing sounding like Elvis Presley. I don't know what it is, but mixed with like some, it's like a fusion. And
Wow.
I really
One
like it
day,
when artists experiment their tones, because I'm like, you have your natural voice,
right,
you have like how you're singing, and then there's like singing in all of these different ranges, not even having to be maybe soprano, alto. It's something. It can sound like a car,
right,
or it can sound like a bed, but that experimental nature of it, once it's nice, it's nice.
right. Voice
Yeah,
as
so he's
instrument.
somebody that, yeah, pardon?
I said y- using the voice as an instrument and playing with that.
Yeah, and I think that is really, really cool.
Yeah,
So he's somebody that like, he's caught my attention right now.
that's cool.
And then,
I'll look him up.
yeah, like, really, I don't have role models. Not being cocky, but I feel like what I'm about to do hasn't been done
I feel
yet.
you. I love it. I
And
love it.
yes, it's my personal opinion. Whatever you think of what I the statement
Yeah.
I said it like so. With me, I just feel like I draw inspiration from everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but my path is different
Right. Different
because
lanes.
I am made uniquely and I have a role to play,
Right.
and like I can't really see, like, normally when people like, oh, who are you aspiring to be, I really can't answer that question. And like even just this year, I was just like, the truth of the matter is, I don't aspire to be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even where I'm supposed to get to, I have an idea of it,
Mm.
but as to if I'm like put a pin to it, I don't know.
I
I
love
can
it.
give you the colors and then the pieces, but however everything's gonna play out, I don't know. So it's like, for me, I'm always on the whole, I really don't have role models.
Yeah.
I think everybody's a human being. Um,
Yep.
we pick, I draw inspiration, but it's never to the end, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Love it.
And then
Love
that
it.
makes me me.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
I that's dope. That's awesome. I would say that you have worked with one of my heroes, um, in Kwame Yeboah, musical heroes
Hmm.
at
Oh
that.
really? Hmm.
Um, yes, because so so growing up, right? I was, I mean, I'm a music bay. I have been playing music since I was 4, right? I've been listening to albums and songs. Like I was the kid who would just, my idea of a good time was just have my headphones in my room doing nothing else than just listening to the song or the album. And I was a huge fan, not was, I am still a huge fan of Kojo Antwi and what he did
Hmm.
for African music and Ghanaian music. And I've also always been a huge fan of album credits. Like every song, every album, I like look at the credits and look at all the hands that touched the thing. Since I was like 6, I was obsessed with that. And so one name that I would see over and over again on Kojo Entry's records was Kwame Yeboah, Kwame Yeboah, Kwame Yeboah. I was like, wow, this guy, you know. And then so I've been literally following him since 8 and 9. So anyway, long story short, you work with him. Can I think you mentioned in your GQ interview, you mentioned like you shared how it was working with him, but can you tell me what has stuck with you even still from working with him?
So Kwame is somebody that like hmm, he lives and breathes music. It's a bit
I can
obsessive.
tell.
I don't think I'm there yet, but that's all he does.
Yeah,
That's how he survived. That's what he thinks.
yeah. So he breathes.
Like, I
I can
think it
tell.
occupies at least 70% to 80% of his day-to-day activities. It is music
Yeah.
related, and he is constantly just creating. Then
Mm-hmm.
he gets bored. I think he has like 100 albums. He gets bored, and then he creates again.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I really felt like meeting him at the time I met him was divine. Why I'm saying that is because it's like having to experience someone who loves the art
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't think about anything else kind of
Right.
keeps you grounded as an artist, to make you
Mm-hmm.
not forget why you're doing it in the first place.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like
Right.
meeting him, I think that was feeling the music, just
Right.
constantly feeling it. I play the
In a
piano,
very
so it's
pure
like
state.
I walk into the house, it's like, okay, even if I don't have anything to do, at some point I was even writing some of my exams there because
Mm.
it's like he would tell me, I've created a corner for you to study, then you can play the piano later or something.
Yeah.
So it's like it was just really nice being in a space like that where I could and
Yeah.
create
I
and
love
make
it.
mistakes. Not even creating for public or trying to make a song
Sure.
consumers will like. It's
Right. Just creating, just
feeling
for
the
the music's
music.
sake. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I felt like it was so fundamental that I got that at my beginning stage,
Yeah.
rather than always being in studios where your conversation is like, hey, for blow, for blow, for blow. Because sometimes it kind of like just distorts. Not saying blowing is not necessary. If you want blow,
It's
for
not. Yep.
blow, for think about all the things you need to
Think
blow.
about
But like,
all the elements. Yeah.
there's that balance that I really believe in, and I'm
Right.
looking for constantly. And I'm like, huh, I want to love this. I don't
Right.
want this to ever feel like it's a burden,
Right.
So
Right.
just being in that space for like a year and more,
Yeah.
like more because we're still working.
Yeah. I
Like I
love it.
went to Tamale with him to collect the sound. I think we'll be working for a really long time
I love it.
and stuff like that. Because now
I'm
most of
excited.
my musical directions, I really just go to him. I'm like, huh, I'm doing this. This is the idea I have.
Yeah.
Can you flesh this out for me? Da da da. So
Yeah.
it's like just being open to the technical sides that I really didn't explore
Right.
as much because I didn't go to music school. He did.
Yeah.
So I just give him that reverence. I'm like, this is your
Sure.
skill, this is your gift, this is your skill set,
Right.
and I need you to help me with this and that and that.
I love it.
But yeah, like I think that's one of my biggest things, that just creating,
Yes.
like feeling it.
Right. Right.
That thing, it's like you make a song and then you play it over and over and over again, like where the feeling becomes too surreal.
Mm.
It's like you've even taken in something
Yes. It's
where
like from like a different
just
world.
always reminding yourself that that's the beauty of the entire art.
Right.
Like you can't express it.
Right.
You can't like cage it in it. It's an aura, it's a
Right.
spirit, it's a feeling.
Yep.
So just constantly like being in that space just reminded me of that,
Yeah.
and like how I would maybe play a chord and get a very beautiful melody and repeat it over and over and over and over and over again, just because I can.
Right.
Not that people are gonna hear it, but it's feeding my soul. It's something is
Right.
filling me. So
Right. Right.
I think that was what he was there for. And he like, we're not even just working on the project. It's like, Renie, you're so technical. Like, feel the music.
Mm.
You're always thinking and stuff.
Mm.
So just feel it. So I
Mm.
think really that's why he's there in
I
my
love
life
it.
at this point, and I'm really grateful for that, for him
I
and
love it.
everything. It hasn't been easy. He's a control freak, but we have our days
Right.
where we fight.
Right. Right.
Because I have my views, he has
Yeah.
his views. But the thing about music is, once you start working with someone, you become friends. So
Right. Right.
yeah, so it's a really nice thing.
I love it. That's great. That's great. So going back to chapter V a little bit, what song on that record, which of the songs came to you the easiest? Like, boom, it just came and you felt it and you didn't have to think too much. You just, boom, came.
You hurt me. You hurt me. It's like I predicted my own breakup.
Really? What? Wait.
So let
What do
me
you mean?
tell you what
Tell me.
happened.
Tell me. Yeah.
A friend of mine in South Africa sent me a beat.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom. Normally I make music in the bathroom. So I just started playing the song and then it just came so quickly.
Mm.
Like 2 weeks later, my heart got broken.
Oh, really? So you had
I
that
could feel it
idea
coming.
before it actually happened.
Yeah, I had the idea of the melody and what it was about,
Interesting.
but it it fleshed out after the event.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
normally I always have a chorus like I thought you were my forever,
Yeah.
and the words were plenty. So I was like, oh, why is this thing coming so quickly? But it was really nice.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I like this melody. Sang it over and over again. Normally I just
Yeah.
sing a song over and over again until I'm convinced
Mm.
that this thing is worthy of recording.
I see. I see.
It's not a melody that's going to go into the melody grave. I have
Yeah.
something called the melody grave where it's like melodies that we always forget, they just end up
Right.
in space somewhere. That graveyard
Melody
has it,
Cemetery.
but yeah, the melody
Uh,
cemetery.
so does
That
that
one came really quick.
happen to you often where like you have an idea or a song or a lyric or a melody that its time or its meaning hasn't hit you yet and then eventually it hits you like in life and then it gives it life?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's the thing about music. Okay, for
Yeah.
me, I don't think I have ever made a song in my life.
Okay. Tell me about that.
I don't know. Okay, I think that's a very big statement, but
I think I know what you
I think I'm
I think I know
really
what
a
you mean.
vessel.
Yes.
I'm really a
I'll
vessel.
yes.
I don't think that I can say that I made the song, like the
Mm,
construction of the melody, I
mm,
created it.
mm.
Once I cannot break something down to its roots, I understand that it's
Right.
divine.
Right. Right.
So for
Right.
me, I'm like, I thought, cool, I can say I learned English and then I put the words there. But if you're taking the melody,
Right.
ah, even you singing it that way, you don't know why. That's what's coming
Right.
in your head,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So
I love it.
for me, I'm like, I don't think I've ever made a song in that sense that I'm always receiving from
Mm.
wherever and it
That's
drops.
awesome.
So
That's
once
the
I
purest
start
form, right?
thinking to create, like I start thinking to create, I think it's a problem. So for
Mm.
me, I think once you don't even know where it's coming from, you should respect the fact that it should have some level of power or something,
Right. Right.
that it's
Right.
telling you something or it's telling someone
Yeah.
something, or it's
I
reminding
love it.
someone of something, or it's like music is the only thing that allows you to feel what someone someone else has felt without
Yeah.
having to go through it. And a good
100%.
example is South African music, apartheid music. I
Mm.
would cry. It's like you've just soaked me in their whole history
Hmm.
without having to tell me the story. I can feel
Right.
it. So it's
Right.
always like a preservation or a timestamp for something that has happened or something that's about to happen or something that's happening in the moment.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, but the feeling, people feel it.
Yeah.
It's inexpressible, but people feel it.
Right.
It's something. So
I love it.
that bit of it for me is like, hey, every song I make or every song that, let me not even say make, every song that comes to me, I feel like it's a message to either me or to someone else,
Right.
or for another day, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Which which song was maybe the most challenging or difficult to write or to
um
channel?
Mellow.
Really? Why?
I got the chorus first.
Okay.
The rest of the other stuff, it was like, oh, you don't do upbeat music, you don't do upbeat music. So it was really just for shiggy reasons. But
I see.
mellow, the mellow, mellow, that one comes to
Yeah.
me. I chant faster. I receive chants faster than words.
I see.
So it's
I see.
really just gibberish.
Mm.
I call it tongues.
Tongues. Amen.
And like, it's tongues. Let me
Yeah.
do my tongues first
I love
before
it.
I fill it with the brofo or the words later or whatever I think I want to say. But
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
think that was really hard. Deciphering the gibberish to words was a really big problem. Took a while, but
Yeah.
it came out. one word will come. I'm like, it's okay, we leave it there. Don't We are not going to try and think and change the words and everything.
So you mentioned you are working on a new project. When can we expect that? Uh, and where do you
So I'm
want to
still
go
working on it
with
too.
with that
Every day I
project?
think I'm done,
Okay,
but I'm still working on it. But definitely this year, I just don't know when. But
this
definitely
year.
this year,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Any sense of the themes and what it's about, or
I'm
is
exploring
that
my voice more, so you would
okay?
you might think you will hear me and like, are you sure this is Asi? In terms
I
of
love it.
that bit of it,
I love it.
I'm really singing about my immediate feelings
Right.
more
Okay.
now, and
Okay.
whatever it is I'm feeling or expressing, whether explicit or not. So you would see more of that
Okay.
too. It's like,
Okay.
okay, what's happening? But
Okay.
I think this is at this phase in my life, this is what I want to talk about. So
Okay. Love it.
it really
Love it.
just cuts across to my current truth or my current realizations and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, they're really
Okay.
fun songs. I'm happy with what I'm hearing. I'm excited
It's
about
great.
it and everything.
Going off the music just for a little bit, where does your deep concern for the environment, which has been apparent in just how you designed your live EP, the cover, and also just I think just our conversation that we've had and all, where does that deep concern for the environment come from?
I think it's really just a deep concern for humanity as opposed to the
Mm.
environment. It
Okay.
is realizing that if you don't take care of it, you might kill me.
Mm.
And also coming to the like realization of the fact that we really have to take care of what we have.
Hmm.
Like it's just decent. Like, let's be
Sure.
clean,
It's
guys.
just the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's really just the right thing to do. And
Yeah.
I'm very emotional about certain things. Like,
Hmm.
I would think it's just super passionate. I can cry because I feel like a policy that was just like allowed wouldn't help the country, or it's not as like there's no form of empathy to people
Right.
that do not have it like I
Mm.
do. I can
Hmm.
start crying, but I stopped
Mm.
crying at some point and realized that your observation is an indication of your obligation.
Mm.
It's like anything that you observe that gets you like that, you have to do
You're
something about
responsible.
it.
Mm.
Yeah, whether it is costly, whether like at this point I don't care. I think money is such a fickle thing.
Yep.
But yeah, we know we will still survive. I really believe in every day give us today our daily bread.
Right.
So if today I have to clean and pay Zoom Lion to come and collect the trash, that day my father will provide. My father, me being God, he would have to provide it.
Right.
So it's like that bit of it for me was it was like a thing like where it's like I was happy I was able to do it,
Hmm.
and it happened,
Yeah.
Everybody think like, oh, this is so much work, wow, and stuff. I'm like, no, it really just took a day.
Yeah.
I sent the flyer to the people on my team. I said, hey, we are going to clean the beach.
Right.
Because I went to that beach prior. Like, I even actually shot a whole mini documentary about it because I can't let the story not be heard.
Right.
I shot a
Smart.
video prior and that's on that same beach, and I couldn't release the video the way I want to, so where I wanted it. So I ended up releasing a visualizer
Mm.
because I'm fat.
I'm fat.
Like, you will see black rabbits. It wasn't what it was. My mood board
Yeah.
and that video that came out, error because of trash.
Like you should have gone to Mauritius.
So
You should have gone back to
I
Mauritius.
really should have. I really should have. That was Nanka. If I had the money, I would have ruined everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, Ghana, my roots, my this thing. But
Hmm.
I got the biggest shock. And I think another thing too is also me not being around a lot, and now even just being home.
Right.
It's allowing me to see the problems.
Mm.
Like I knew that Ghana was dirty, but when I went to the beach,
Like it's dirty,
me
pa.
cram it to a shock. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what we are dealing with,
Yeah.
you know? And I think the biggest thing for me was seeing the fishermen fish plastics. That's when I had it. Like I would have never thought
Mm.
that 80% of the things they were fishing was rubber.
Wow. Wow.
You know, so I was like, at some point, I was like, this thing is not ending.
Mm.
It's like we have to donate one country as a trash can for it to actually work. But my thing was doing that was like a step for like consciousness and
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
who is with following me on my Instagram, you're going to see that
Right.
Asi made her cover art out of trash.
Right. And it
I hope
wasn't
there'll be
trash.
more of these initiatives. Pardon?
You made it out of trash, but the actual art was
But
not
now it's
trash.
art.
Exactly.
Now it's art. It's a
Exactly.
whole artwork. So
I
it's like
love
I
it.
hope there's going to be more of these initiatives
Yeah.
to kind of like make people aware of how they should treat their environment,
Right.
how you want your country to look like,
Right.
you know.
Right.
I had a lot of things a lost cause, this is not bad. For me, the exercise was enough.
Yeah.
There are things that like in my house we recycle. We have like a bunch of bins, we've labeled them and
Nice.
stuff, whatever we can use. Like we use a lot of coconut because my mom is into fruit juices.
Okay.
My dad would create, when I think I get my creativity bit away from my dad would take the coconut husk and turn them into flower pots and just plant something.
Wow.
Random things, whether it's corn, whether it's this, you just put a seed in there and then just
Hmm.
plant and grow it, because it's like just allowing your mind to realize that you shouldn't waste anything
Right.
is a really good thing to have. It makes you creative in tough situations, you know.
I love
So
it. Love it.
like the idea of, okay, minko tia photographer be ne makeup artist be Nkoye chapter V live cover art, just going to do that bit of it, and then knowing that you can make a statement with the artwork, have people start a conversation
Right.
that will help us and help each other,
Hmm.
and then also do it and make money to on top of it. Because if I sell that artwork, I'll be rich. I know 10 years from now, that artwork will be going for like some $1 million.
I
Last.
love it. I love it. I love it.
So just because of what it symbolizes, you know?
Right. Right.
And it's like, it's just beautiful to see that, okay, cool, that could have been done.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
fun.
cool.
Like it was like I was a
Yeah.
child again, just sorting out the
Hmm.
colors and sticking. It was really nice. Like I did it for like 2 months. Every Saturday I
Wow.
was there.
Really? Wow.
Stick. Yeah, it was really, really nice. It also made me
Wow.
tap into another side of myself. And I'm always
Wow.
like, I'm happy I'm able to play with, feel like a child again and play with
Right.
like certain things. Like I don't
That's
want that to
key.
ever go away from me.
That's key,
So
right?
that was
Just
really,
having
really
that
nice.
that like real childlike, innocence that we've all had once upon a time, and we love to play with things and get our hands dirty and make something dope just because it was dope.
Yeah.
I think that really is the artist spirit. So I have one more question before we move into our game section,
Okay.
and the last one is, how would you like to be remembered after that
I
time
played my
time comes?
part.
You played your part.
I think that's the most important thing for any human being. Playing your part
What's that part?
and being yourself and identifying your gifts and using it in that
Hmm.
journey or purpose that you're in, is
Yeah.
which is still defining itself on a daily.
Right.
But I think at the end of the day, anybody who should meet me and say something about me after I'm not on this earth should just feel I was love,
Hmm.
I was an extension of my maker,
Hmm.
and I played my part in the space he had put me in.
I love it.
That's really what I'm about. So
I love it.
I think you get ultimate satisfaction just knowing that you're playing a role.
Playing your part.
and all the things you think about, you're able to achieve them. You know.
I love it. I love
So
it.
for me, like I'm even okay now. Like right now, like even the path I've decided to take every day, my decisions and stuff like that, I don't regret
Hmm.
them. And like
I love it.
I'm playing my part.
Beautiful.
I'm doing what I have to do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, Asi, we're going to move into a different segment that I like to call
Yay.
overrated, underrated. All right. I will mention a word or phrase, and you can let me know if it's overrated or underrated. You're more than welcome to leave it just at that, or if you want to say more about it, it's highly up to you. But don't feel like you have to explain. But if you feel like you have to explain, I'm all yours. Okay. So, number one, romance.
Um, overrated.
Okay.
I think I have to explain because I write a lot of love songs. But
All right. Up to you.
for me, for me, even the ecosystem I'm in, where it's like as a woman, they will pushing you marriage as if it's such a priority. I really think that the real priority should be purpose, and then whoever you're marrying or you decide to marry, if you want to marry, should be in
Right.
tune with that purpose. So for me, that's why I'm
Mm,
saying that it's a bit overrated. Yeah, I when you're
I love it.
experiencing it, yes, but I have my most underlying factor, that's purpose. Purpose before everything.
Love it.
Whether
Love it.
marriage or yeah, or
Love it.
love and
It's
all of
great.
this lovey-dovey things. But yeah,
Waakye.
underrated.
I
Watch is
knew I
nice.
liked you.
Oh,
I knew I liked you.
watch is
I knew I
nice.
liked you.
Like I can
And now
eat
I like you
watch
even more.
it 3 times in a week or 4, or
Yeah.
even the whole day. Eat, not
Yeah.
finish, go and get another one. Watch is
Right.
nice.
Next one is growing up.
Um, underrated.
All right. Great. Engineering degrees.
Overrated.
All right. And then Fairfax, Virginia.
Hmm. I don't know. Fairfax, Virginia. I think it's wherever you're born there. I was born in Virginia, so it's like
I know.
it's okay. I don't know whether
Yeah.
it's overrated or
Yeah.
underrated.
It's just rated. Yeah, it's meh.
It's just
All
rated.
right.
It's there.
It's just rated. Okay, cool. And then the last one, Asi Renie.
Hey, me, I am overrated. Oh, I am extra rated.
Yeah, extra rated.
I
Why do you think
am,
that?
yes. Oh, it's Asi Renie. Have you seen her? Oh, you guys, calm down.
Come.
Like, it is Asi Renie. You guys,
Yes. Well,
what she has done, what she can do, what she's about to do, unfathomable. Like, we don't, like, it is out of this world.
yeah, 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 yeah. So me at this point, I will say underrated. I think eventually very rated, and everyone will see exactly what I'm saying, and I am looking forward to when that happens. But it's already happening, and it has happened, um, as well. So love it, love it, love it. Hey, Asi, do you have any last word for the audience? So anything to promo, a word of gratitude, how can people find you? This is your time to speak to the audience directly.
um, I think my last words would be I'm inspired by what you're doing. Just also knowing that you're an artist too, and exploring other disciplines and everything. It's not everybody that can do it. So the fact that you're doing this actively, yeah, it's inspiring.
Mm.
And really, I'm out here. Be you, like The way Papa being himself wants to sing sometimes, sometimes to host, sometimes to Asi Praiser with that whole speech in the beginning that I'm going to save and then send to everybody so they memorize.
That's right.
But yeah, like it's just be you. Like I
Hmm.
think that's the most thing. Be comfortable with yourself, find what it is you're supposed to do on this earth and then do it wholeheartedly.
Love it.
So
I see. Thank you. That's, I think, all.
thank you too. Enjoyed myself.
I'm happy to hear that. I hope that this can be a space where folks in the ecosystem, so not just artists, but artists and managers and video directors and so on and so forth, can just come and be themselves and talk about anything. But um,
It
really,
is already that space. You shouldn't hope for it. It's that space
I
already. So
appreciate that. I
you
appreciate
started
that.
that.
I appreciate that. So thank you for being on the show. Your time is precious and valuable and priceless. So thank you, Asi. And yeah, to our listeners, I have been your host, Papa Versa. Much love to you for watching or listening. And much love to you for your time and support. Please follow me on all socials at PAAPAVERSA and follow Asi Renie as well. Um, your handles are,
Is the Versa for versatility? Is it that's that what it's for?
you might
Is
be
that
onto
what it's
something.
for?
You might be onto something.
No, really. I think your name is really powerful.
You might be onto
Like
something. That there's
father of versatility.
there's a lot of
Technically,
layers
what
to
it
it, but
is.
sorry.
That's the direct translation. If I see it, Papa being father of versatility. I'm showing how you can be versatile in this space as a creative. So own that. I think you're owning it already. So
I'm glad it resonates with
that's
you, and
your
I'm happy
name,
you're
and
seeing
I'm
that.
just like, oh.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, please. New episodes are coming every month and featuring some wonderful, insightful guests like we've had on this episode so far. I see your handles are, your social handles are what?
Asi_Renie
Okay, love it. It's
everywhere.
ASI_RENIE.
Underscore Renie. Yeah,
Okay,
Renie.
nice. All right, folks. Thank you. This has been a blast. Till next time, please take care of yourself and your loved ones and be yourself. Grace and peace to y'all.